As promised, David Pogue has a Father's Day tale that, while bittersweet, might just make you feel better about the world.
A child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way.
Harry Chapin's #1 hit, Cats in the Cradle from 1974, may be one of the most powerful songs ever written about fatherhood. It tells the tale of a very busy dad.
When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together this time. You know we'll have a good time there.
Everyone who hears Cats in the Cradle, somewhere in their head's going, I wonder if his own kids felt like that because he was on the road.
The one time when I get a little is when somebody tells me like, oh, your dad, he played a 3.5-hour concert and then he signed every single poetry book and he kissed my girlfriend and this. And I'm like, that's great, but that was time we didn't have.
But his children, Jason, Jen, and Josh Chapin, want to be clear, Harry Chapin was not the dad in the song.
He really loved kids. When he came home, he wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna like zone out. He was, yes, projects, trips, family outings.
Cats in the Cradle was originally a poem written by Harry's wife Sandy, now 90, but it wasn't about him.
It was based on the relationship her first husband had with his father. And my mother was always observing how they didn't connect on a father-son basis.
Harry Chapin came from a musical family. He and 2 of his brothers formed a band.
We became the Chapin Brothers.
Wow.
And we played together for 10 years. And it was the only time we were ever cool, you know. Well, I dreamed I saw you at the end of the rainbow.
Harry's younger brother Tom Chapin has had his own successful performing career.
His journey to the sun.
But Harry was always the driven one.
When I was a kid, I came up with this line that the family loved. Two's company, Harry's a crowd.
So he was the outgoing?
Absolutely, and unafraid. He had this energy that was astonishing.
But as his son Jason recalls, Harry's path to success was never a sure thing.
He was depressed a lot during college. He had failed in many things, and I think that he was really desperate to be successful at something.
His first love was documentaries. In fact, he directed one that got an Oscar nomination. But music won out. In 1972, while he was performing as the warm-up act for his brother's band, Elektra Records signed him up. He was 30 years old.
Were you surprised when Harry got plucked?
I was surprised but not shocked. Let's put it that way. He was great.
Weren't you all?
We were good, but he was great.
It was raining hard in Frisco.
His first hit was Taxi, another story of broken dreams.
And she handed me $20 for a $2.50 fare. She said, Harry, keep the change.
According to son Josh, his mother Sandy encouraged his dad to do something with his celebrity.
She asked, do you want to be on the cover of the Hit Parade or Time magazine? And he thought about it and he said, you know what, there really is an emptiness to just chasing celebrity and trying to become a bigger rock star.
I would hate to be 75 years old and say, if only I had, I wish I had, I wonder what my life meant. My credo is, when in doubt, do something.
Harry decided he'd do something about hunger. He began devoting his time, money, and fame to charities that addressed food insecurity. He helped convince Jimmy Carter to start a presidential commission on world hunger. And he became the king of the benefit concert.
There you go.
I do about 220 concerts a year, about 100 of which are benefits.
Whose pencil did I steal here? Because in the long run, we're not sure about a prior life or an afterlife. We're all hoping for that. But what we can do is maximize what we have in this brief flicker of time in the infinity and try to milk that.
Time for Harry Chapin was short. On July 16, 1981, he died in a car crash. He was 38.
The world shook, the universe shook when Harry was suddenly not there.
Memorials were held, tribute concerts performed, foundations founded. But Chapin's most lasting legacies are the charities he built. In 1975, he'd co-founded Why Hunger with a priest and radio DJ named Bill Ayers. Today, it partners with organizations in 25 countries, helping to establish a sustainable farming school in Colombia, fostering traditional farming practices in Panama, and supporting programs in the U.S., like this urban farm and co-op in Detroit.
Everyone thinks of Long Island as a rich bastion of the country. It's not.
Paul Pachter is the CEO of Long Island Cares, a food bank that Chapin started in 1980.
There are pockets of affluence here, but most Long Islanders are living paycheck to paycheck.
This is all going right to the pantries.
On an annual basis, we're distributing 16 million pounds of food. That's roughly 14.5 million meals.
What did you think when you heard me back on the radio? What did the kids say when they knew it was their long-lost daddy-o?
Chapin's biggest hits were his story songs.
And the cats in the cradle and the silver spoon.
Most people think of them as tragic tales, especially Cats in the Cradle.
As I hung up the phone, it occurred to me, he'd grown up just like me. My boy was just like me.
In the song's ironic twist ending, the grown son becomes too busy for his dad. But Jason Chapin points out that there's another way to look at that turn.
Some people interpret the last verse when the dad calls the son to say, let's get together. The son is too busy for his dad because he's busy with his own family, being a good dad.
The kids have the flu.
It needs a little close. It needs a little close reading sometimes. But
That's good.
Yeah.
I think I made this.
The surviving Chapins still feel the pain of a life cut short.
This certificate hereby proclaims that Harry Chapin has been chosen as best dad of the century.
But they're still active in his charities and remain inspired by Harry's message.
James, the oldest brother, said it at the funeral. We lost Harry. Those are big shoes to fill. But we can't fill them. You can't be Harry. You don't want to be Harry. Just fill your own shoes a little fuller.
And if in doubt, do something.
And when in doubt, do something. Don't forget that.